Today I'll be building a crazy high range battery for a wheelchair, and this thing is a total game changer. We are talking over 200 kilometers of range packed into a 12 kilogram battery built with Samsung 53G cells, pure nickel with zero steel, and a Bluetooth BMS to monitor everything from your phone. Just look at this listing. The old battery was using 4 of these lead acid packs. One weighs over 5 kilograms, so it weighs over 20 kilograms in total, and it only gives you 20 amp hours. We are swapping that out for something more than 3 times the capacity while dropping a ton of dead weight. Make sure to check out my website. You can order a custom battery directly on the site and get yourself a custom made one. Link is in the description. Alright, let's get back to the build. Chapter 1, Cell Layout and Design. The very first thing that we had to do is design the battery. We went with a 13S 12P configuration, giving us 48 volts and a massive 63.6 amp hour of capacity. Here is how the design looks. Now let's start placing the cells into the cell holders. This is how the battery looks like after placing in all the cells in the cell holders. Now it's time for chapter 2, spot welding. For this battery we went with pure nickel, 0.1mm thick. This is the perfect material for this battery. It doesn't rust and won't cause the battery to heat up under heavy load. These are the strips I cut out to connect the parallel connections. And in here I have some small 3cm connections for the series connections. Alright, let's start with the spot welding process. Alright, so we have one side of the battery now fully spot welded. You can inspect the welds, all of them are on the cells, everything is nicely done. We have all of the other strips for the second side here, smaller strips for the battery as well cut out here for the second side. Let's flip the pack around and start spot welding the other side. Here is how the welds turned out, and we didn't just guess, we tested each series group on the load to make sure each single cell is properly spot welded and secure. Over here I'm just spot welding the terminals for the balancing leads of the BMS. For the main negative of the pack, we are going to use pure copper to connect the cable to, so that the current can flow through much better. If you're planning to build a battery yourself, I left some links in the description for some tools that I have used and tested myself. Just scroll down and check them out for yourself. We did the same copper connection for the main positive of the battery. Now it's finally time for chapter 3, connecting the BMS. A battery management system is the brain of the pack, which is very important for keeping a high-powered battery safe and long-lasting. Let's place this fish paper on the cells to insulate them between the cells and the balancing cables. Let's use this epoxy board under the BMS so that it's nicely mounted. Next, let's solder the negative cable to the copper sheet we just spot welded to the pack. Remember to do this step fast so you don't transfer a lot of heat into the cells. This can damage the cells permanently. After that, let's insulate it with some low temperature resistant glue. Perfect, this is the main negative done. Now, let's route the temperature sensor and mount it in place to read the temperature on the cells as accurately as possible. Now it's time for the balancing cables. Let's use some double-sided tape to route the cables nicely across the pack. This is the wiring diagram of the BMS. As you can see, the last series groups of the battery will have 2 cables connected instead of 1, since this BMS can support a 14S battery and we are using a 13S one. Now let's connect the BMS up. Alright, so we have finally all of the BMS connections connected up to the battery. We have it nicely insulated, as you can see, and over here we have the B- nicely insulated as well, and we have the BMS cables going out here, and we're going to finally connect it into the actual port here. So it's time to just place it in here. It's a little bit of a struggle at the beginning, but once you're in, boom, it's connected. There's a blue light shining from the BMS, which means that it's on. We can now place all of the BMS cables down, and let's connect to the battery, and I'll show you how the BMS app looks like. After opening the Solar Overkill app, it automatically connects to the battery. In here you can see the total voltage and percentage of the pack, the temperature of the battery, and the individual cell voltages. Everything that you need to see if the pack is operating well. Now it's time for chapter 4, insulating the battery. The first thing that I'm going to do is finally cover up all of the spot holes on this battery. This will make it way safer. Just one wrong move with these uncovered can cause the whole battery to go into rubbish. We're using fish paper and some Kapton tape to make it fully secure. The next thing I'm going to do is insulate the main positive of the pack with some low temperature resistant glue. Add some Kapton tape all over the cells and route the cables to the side where the output cables will go out. Now I'm going to cover the positive terminal with some foam to protect it. It's time for the negative side of the pack. Since the final shape of the battery will be a rectangle, I'm going to add some foam to shape it properly. This will also insulate the pack even better. Let's route the negative cables so they go out right where the positive cables are. This is how the battery looks after doing all of these steps. Pretty good. We are going to cover it all up with some fiberglass sheets to make it even more protected. This is how the case looks. Let's place the battery in the case. It's made for the exact dimensions of the battery. Alright, so we have the whole battery now covered up in fiberglass plates. As you can see, where it's a nice rectangle. It's perfect. Now it's time to finally heat shrink the pack. This is how the battery turned out. It's nicely protected and ready to be used by the customer. I added an XT90 for the main discharge of the battery and 2 XT60s, one for charging and one for a DC 12V converter, so the customer can connect some lights and charge their phone. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to like and subscribe. In the next video, I'll be building 2 batteries for this crazy 12 horsepower go-kart. To not miss it, make sure to subscribe. Thanks for watching.